Hey, St. Louis, it's Amber with the Gateway Arch Riverboats. Cruising on the river for 60 years, ever since the arch was being constructed. We hope you can come and cruise with us before our season ends.
What's up, St. Louis? It's your host, Luke Farrell of the STL Bucket List Show. The STL Bucket List Show is driven by Bomarito Automotive Group. Bomarito is Missouri's #1 car dealership with over 20 locations, so I guarantee that there's one in your neighborhood. Since the 1970s, Bomarito has sold over 1 million cars, and John and the entire team made us feel completely comfortable when we picked up our new vehicle recently for the family. So I can't thank the Bomarito team enough for driving this episode forward, and enjoy the show. For 50 years, Bankhead and Firth Orthodontics has been proudly serving the vibrant St. Louis community. As a family-owned and operated practice since day one, the commitment to excellence and personalized care runs deep. They believe in giving back to the wonderful people of St. Louis who have entrusted them with their smiles. Step into the 5 locations across St. Louis with modern offices equipped with the latest orthodontic technology. Their 3 amazing doctors are dedicated to providing top-notch, innovative treatments tailored just for you. Join us in celebrating 50 years with Bankhead and Firth Orthodontics, where your family becomes a part of theirs. Schedule your free consultation today and let them help you achieve the confident, gorgeous smile that you deserve. Because in St. Louis, your smile is your legacy.
Hey St. Louis, Birch Tree Recovery is the newest outpatient mental health and substance use recovery resource in St. Louis. Birch Tree is truly doing it differently. Our science-based humanistic approach, along with a talented team of clinical professionals, will ensure that your time with us is life-changing. Birch Tree's approach to treatment is rooted in research and data. We reject any judgment and shame that may exist and challenge you to live the life you deserve, free of labels and stigma. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, call us. We can help.
St. Louis, we're back with another episode of the STL Bucket List Show. This is a 2-part episode. We got to talk to 2 amazing employees of the Gateway Arch National Park and also the Gateway Arch Riverboats. We had Pam and Amber on. We got to talk about their jobs. We got to talk about some of the exciting things coming up this year and heading into next year. The Riverboats and the Gateway Arch National Park are such a gem for our city. It's a bucket list thing to do, and if you haven't done it, make plans to go and listen to this episode to see a little bit of the history and some of the behind the scenes of what goes into some of these things that we have here in St. Louis. So enjoy the episode, guys.
If you want to hear about St. Louis, tune into the Bucket List Show weekly. Hear what Marissa and Luke say. It drops every Wednesday. Got a dope new guest every single week. Buckle up for the ride. Who's it gonna be? Who's on the show today? They rep St. Louis. What to do in the loo on a late night, or maybe what to do on a date night. Yeah, Bucket List has you covered. They know what's going on. What's going on? They'll give you, hey, 18 different things to do, or 19 if you need one more to choose. Yeah, this city is a place we call home. A place we call home, yeah.
What's up, St. Louis? We're back with another episode highlighting the people, places, and things that make St. Louis special. We couldn't do this without the support of each and every one of you that listen every single week. We've been putting out episodes each and every Wednesday for the last 140-something plus weeks. And we really love doing this and highlighting the people. And of course, our wonderful partners and sponsors that make this show possible to be able to show up here and use a professional studio like the one we use at Half Coast Studios. So we have a special episode today. One of my favorite things to do in St. Louis. I just got to do it this summer and actually just enjoy it. And as an adult, I wrote it as a kid, but we have Amber with the Gateway Arch Riverboats. So
Thank you for having me.
yeah, thanks for coming on. So Amber, I want to, first off, tell people what you do and a little bit about the work that you do at the Riverboats.
Yeah, so I am the director at the Riverboats. I've been down there for a little over 3 years now, and we just have fun on the river. There's a lot of work, but there's a lot of play, and that's the most important part, is that we're having fun down there. So
Exactly. And it's one of those things where it should be fun.
Yeah.
You're on a boat, you're on water, but I know that's not all that goes into
Yeah.
to what you guys do. But you guys just wrapped up Halloween cruises and different things like that. Tell us what's going on, because it's not sunny anymore. It's getting dark earlier. So what's going down at the Riverboats right now towards the end of the year?
Yeah, so we do close out our season. It always ends the Sunday after Thanksgiving, just our 1-hour riverfront. So we have that going on still. And then we have our dinner cruises happening, which it's a beautiful opportunity to see the arch from the river at night. And then we still have as we end our riverfront cruises, we roll into our Santa cruises and some holiday fun. So
Mm.
we'll decorate the boats. So our dinner cruises will be holiday themed.
Mhm.
And then we have a PJs and pancakes breakfast with Santa, which is very popular, tons of fun. We have some craft stations. Kids
Mhm.
get to have their photo taken with Santa. And then this year we have something new and exciting. We're excited that we're going to carol with Santa.
Oh, wow.
So kids will come on. We will carol. There will be a fun little treat, a hot chocolate bar,
Mhm.
and then the opportunity to have pictures taken with Santa as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's happening December 7th, 8th, 14th, 15th, and 21st. So there's 5 different opportunities
Yeah.
to be a part of that. There's something special about caroling during the holidays and doing it. So you're going to be on the
Yeah.
riverboat as you guys are
Yeah.
doing it.
Who has gone on a boat and caroled with Santa? I personally have not, but this year I can mark it off my list.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be great. And then you mentioned the PJs and pancakes with Santa.
Mhm.
Nothing like the holidays with PJs and pancakes. That's gonna be going on those same days as well, just different times. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be PJs and pancakes in the morning, and then caroling in the afternoon.
Yep.
So that's gonna be amazing. So these are both family-friendly events, kids welcome, everything like that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's your chance to get your kids with Santa, have
Yeah.
that picture, have those fun family memories. We have lots of families that come every year.
Yeah.
So it's become their tradition and we're excited to celebrate that with them.
No, that's amazing. So you mentioned some of the dinner cruises. So, what can people expect on there? So these are elevated dinners and different
Yes.
things. I mean, people are getting like engaged on these things. I mean, you guys have so many great things that
Yeah.
happen on these.
We have all kinds of celebrations, lots of engagements, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Always lots of fun, like girl parties. If you are celebrating it, we're the place to do it. We have a chef inspired menu. We have live music, which is either a 2-person band or we have a DJ.
Mhm.
But we have a great time. People eat, they drink, they dance,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's just such a unique way to view the downtown from the river, and then again the arch. Like the pictures that people post from there are beautiful.
Mhm. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, and when I was on it, it is a huge tourist attraction for St.
Hmm.
Louis. I mean, a lot of the people that we were talking to were just in town for a ball game or different
Yeah.
things that were going on, and it was one of those things that they were like, "Hey, we're going on the riverboat." So it's cool that you guys keep that tradition going, and there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes to make those things possible. So I want to kind of learn a little bit more about what you're doing. So what does your day to day look like when you're working? Because like the boat runs every
Yeah.
day. So, but like, what are you doing to kind of keep things rolling?
So we like I said, we have fun down there. We're greeting tourists, we're greeting locals. I'm amazed at how many people will just come down and catch a riverboat ride in the middle of their workday.
Hmm.
Even people who are working downtown St. Louis will walk down there. In addition to taking the boat out, we have a gift shop, which we try to focus a lot on St. Louis artisans. So we're really proud of our gift shop and everybody that we have featured in there. We also have a dock bar
Hmm.
and we have a cafe. And the dock bar and the cafe are seasonal, but so we're greeting guests, we're feeding guests, we're making memories with guests, and it's a lot of fun. And I think for me, my favorite time is when I can get out of my office and go out onto the dock, and I'm meeting people from Norway and from all over the world that are just so impressed with St. Louis. Like they're standing on the dock taking pictures of themselves with the arch, and
Hmm.
they're like amazed by the Mississippi, the barge traffic on the Mississippi.
Hmm.
So it's a rewarding job. There are days where I'm like, what am I doing here? And then there are other days where I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's
Yeah.
just it's an incredible opportunity and I'm fortunate to be able to have this position.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm sure for like even kids in St. Louis, like it's a great job opportunity. Not kids, but like teens and young
Yes.
adults to be able to work there. You guys seem like you can always have like seasonal employees and different things like that.
Yeah, so we starting towards the end of January, we'll really start focusing again on our hiring. And if since we have so many opportunities with the gift shop and a kitchen and everything,
Hmm.
if you can think of a job, we probably have it for you. So we have ticket agents, we
Right.
have dishwashers, we have lead prep cooks in our kitchen, we have deckhands, we have mates, we have bartenders, servers, everything. So it's a great opportunity to get your foot in the door for a job if you're 16. Um, So yeah, hopefully people will apply with us. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's great. So you mentioned some of the special narration that you guys do, like the Ranger-led cruises, the Junior Ranger cruises, and some of the riverfront takeovers. Tell us about some of your guys' captains, though. I mean, because the not everybody can ride like apply to drive
Right.
these cruises and stuff like that. So tell us about some of that because I know there's some unique history with a lot of the people that you guys have working there.
Yeah, so we have some phenomenal captains. We have one of our kind of main captains, Kevin East. He's the first African American captain in the state of Missouri.
Hmm.
So he actually has a pretty cool little display in the Missouri History Museum.
That's great.
And he's been with us for almost 30 years, so he knows the river. He could probably do it blindfolded. We would never let him, but he probably could. We also have a female captain who's phenomenal,
Hmm.
Captain Brittany. And then, so if they're not narrating, then we're fortunate we have a ranger from the National Park Service who narrates our riverfront cruises. And then we also do, as you mentioned, we do a Missouri History Takeover where they come, someone from Amanda from Missouri History Museum comes and she just gives a different perspective. She dives a little deeper into some of the history of the river.
Hmm.
And then we also do an Ag Coast of America cruise, which talks about just the working, how the Mississippi is such an important piece of our transportation industry, and how all the working components of the river.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was really great how Kevin and he didn't even have a script, obviously he
Yeah.
knows, but he was reading all these different things of like where battles would happen
Yeah.
across the river in that certain spot. That was like one of the things that I took away from it. But just being able to know the river and all that comes with it, and I just thought is a great thing to check off your bucket list, but also there's reasons to go do it again and again for different
Yeah,
things that you guys do. It's not just the same cruise.
absolutely.
Now the private holiday charters are something really cool that you guys do as well. So you can book
Yes.
the ship for a
Yep.
party, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So people have done private events there and different things like
Yep.
that.
We can host up to 220 people on a charter. So if again we've done wedding, receptions, dinners, corporate events,
Mhm.
anything, we've done it. We just had a poker night.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so a company brought in tables and they had a fun little like employee party, and they did all their things. So it's fun.
Yeah, that's cool. That's like the riverboat and the poker night, and that was just like all
Yeah.
themed and stuff. That's amazing. So, and then you guys have your flagship evening cruise, which is the dinner cruise
Mhm.
and caroling with Santa. But what would you tell to a visitor? That why would you tell them to come? I mean, what would be your elevator pitch on like, hey, you should come do a riverboat cruise?
Well, it's the only attraction on the Mississippi in St. Louis, so I think you'd be missing out to not do it. There's incredible history around the river, and I think it's just a phenomenal opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Come and take a cruise, sit on the dock, relax, enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting out onto there and reconnecting with St. Louis in a different way, I think, is a really great opportunity. And then also, we always encourage our visitors to talk to our captains. If you have, little kids, take them up to the pilot house and get a future captain pin. They're super cute. If
Yeah.
the Ranger's on board, you could do the Junior Ranger program with us.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much more opportunity. It's not just a boat ride. It's not just a dinner on the boat. There's history. There's that connection to St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a neat, unique experience.
Yeah. No, I agree. And live music too, if you're doing
Yeah.
a dinner
Oh yeah.
cruise.
Yeah. And there's the
drinks.
bar.
Yeah, and the
So,
bar, of course.
yeah.
No, that's amazing. So, how can people get in touch? I mean, how can we buy tickets, reserve tickets, and tell us a little bit more about, the current costs and different things like that. So,
Yeah, so all of our tickets and our schedules available on gatewayarch.com. Our daily riverfront cruises for adults are $24, for kids are $14, and then we do have a senior discount for $22. If you're looking for group opportunities, there you can find that through our website.
mhm,
And then for our dinner cruises, adult tickets are $59, and kids are 25. So,
mhm.
and then for our PJs and pancakes, those tickets are available online as well,
Okay.
$45. 2 and under are free. And then for our Caroling with Santa, it's $29, and then 2 and under are free as well. So,
That's
and
great.
just, if you're bringing a baby on board, make sure you book them a ticket. They're free, but they still need a ticket to get
Yeah.
on. So,
Yeah, people
but
forget that
yeah,
sometimes.
but yeah, everything's available through the website, gatewayarch.com.
Yeah, that's great. So, well, Amber, I appreciate you for coming on and talking about all the cruise opportunities that you guys have. And obviously, we're coming up on winter, but this is something that people need to add to their list for
Yeah,
next year. And even if
definitely.
you live in St. Louis and you've done it before, being able to go down there and experience everything that the Gateway Arch Park has to offer, from the museum, then do like there's so much that you can do in one day.
Oh, absolutely.
That you don't have to limit yourself. So I think that that's great.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Thanks
Yeah,
for
thanks
coming on.
for having me.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys next week. Thank you. St. Louis, it's Luke with STL Bucket List, your host and founder of St. Louis Bucket List. We have a partnership with our friends over at Birch Tree Recovery, and we host a segment each and every week called the Mental Health Minute. This week, I'm going to give my own mental health minute. It's so important in my life as being a dad, an entrepreneur, a husband. Mental health is everything. We live in an electronic society where we get to see everything on the internet, and you get instant updates on everything that's happening in life. And my biggest advice would be to disconnect, is put time blocks in your calendar. One of the things that I do from 5 to 7 p.m. every single day is I put a family time block in. I don't take any calls, texts, work emails. I don't scroll on social media. And it's been a game changer. And really, I hope to kind of make more time blocks and get away from technology more, because as an entrepreneur, it gets lonely, and you have nobody to talk to. You're the one that makes the decisions, and you can't ask anybody else for advice. So one of my other things would be is mentorship. Find mentorship in your partner, and somebody that you look up to in business to really bounce ideas off of and ask hard questions to, and really take the time to breathe and be present in the moment. It's hard. It's easy to get caught up in life and somebody that might be looking like they do better than you or more successful, and really just take that time to be present and be grateful for the things that you do have. And I really am thankful for our friends over at Birch Tree, and thankful for the Mental Health Minute. So enjoy the rest of the show. St. Louis, we're back with episode 142 of the STL Bucket List Show. We're here with a super special episode, but I just want to take this time to thank each and every one of you for continuing to listen every single week as we highlight the people, places, and events that make St. Louis special. So today we want to highlight one of the best of St. Louis. So we have Pam from the Gateway Arch National Park. Thank you for coming in, Pam.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming in. Obviously, if people are listening to this podcast, they've probably been in the Arch, but they don't know everything else that happens down there. So just give people an idea of what you guys do, and maybe what your role is specifically at the park.
Sure. Gateway Arch National Park is St. Louis's only national park,
Yes.
and we are excited to welcome visitors to not only take the tram ride to the top. Some of them have done that. Others may not choose to do that. But we also have a museum under the arch that is all new with the City Arch River renovations that happened in 2018. And that is a very interactive gallery, fully accessible for people of all ages and abilities, and tells stories of St. Louis, over 200 years of St. Louis and national history uh, in those galleries. We also have a film, Monument to the Dream, that talks about the construction of the arch and the amazing people who made Eero Saarinen's dream a reality. There's also a virtual reality experience, takes people back to the 1850s riverfront in St. Louis. And our partner store, run by Jefferson National Parks Association, offers all kinds of gifts and opportunities to take home a piece of that story of our past.
Yeah, it's so special. I was just telling you how I just visited this summer, and just to see how immersive the museum is now, and all these additional exhibits that you guys have, and all these different things that you're doing. So I kind of want to talk about some fun facts here. Obviously, most people know that the Gateway Arch is 630 feet tall. Is there any fun facts that you like about the arch that you can share with us today?
Well, I think the fact that it's also 630 feet wide,
Okay.
people don't realize that it is as wide as it is tall. It's kind of an optical illusion in some ways. And then the tram ride to the top is a one-of-a-kind system that was designed by Dick Bowser when Eero Saarinen asked him to come up with a way to get people from the bottom of the arch underneath to the top, to that great view, 630 feet up.
I know it is pretty amazing, like when you think about it, because you just go underneath and you just, whoop, you're right at the top. So, no, that's amazing. So, a little bit more is it, it was President Jefferson's vision of a continental nation, the individuals and cultural groups who helped shape its history in St. Louis and the westward expansion, and Dred and Harriet Scott, who sued for their freedom in the Old Courthouse. So, a lot of people are excited about what you guys are doing at the courthouse. So, can you tell us a little bit about that project?
Sure. A lot of people don't realize that the old courthouse is part of Gateway Arch National Park,
Hmm.
and it's been closed since March of 2020 with the pandemic. And then we moved right into the renovation work that we're doing up there as part of the City Arch River project. And so um, we've added an elevator that will assist people with mobility issues to get to the second floor of the building. First time that that's ever happened.
Hmm.
Um, and then new windows, a new heating and air conditioning system, and improved fire suppression system. So those are all crucial to making sure the building is safe and accessible for everyone. But what I'm most excited about are those 4 new exhibit galleries that we're going to have
Hmm.
in the old courthouse. One of them is called Designed for Justice, and so it's looking at the art, the architecture, and the craftsmanship of the old courthouse when it was built between 1839 and 1862.
Hmm.
And then across from that gallery will be See You in Court. It's set up like a courtroom, and so we'll be able to do mock trials there, but also exhibits that talk about the important role courts play in our government and within the 3 branches of our government. And then we'll also have a gallery called Pathways to Freedom that explores African American life in St. Louis and the many ways that enslaved African Americans worked to achieve freedom, including over 300 freedom suits that were filed at the old courthouse. The most famous of those, of course, is Dred and Harriet Scott.
Hmm.
And so, across from that Pathways to Freedom gallery, we'll have a gallery dedicated to Dred and Harriet Scott and telling the story from their perspective, not just the 11-year legal battle that went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, but their lives and the impact this had on their family and
Yeah.
why they were willing to risk everything to
That's
gain
going to be
freedom.
incredible for just history of St. Louis in general, but also just for all the families in town that are going to be able to go experience this. I went there, I told you, as a school field trip, and we did the
Mhm.
trial case and at the exact same place that you guys are doing the renovation. So can't wait to take my kids to that when it's redone and now it has all this extra learning opportunities. And it's not just for kids too. You mean it's a fun, it looks like it's going to be fun for everyone.
Yes, very interactive,
Yeah.
just like the exhibits at the Arch. And so, and fully accessible, and just really a great way to engage everyone with these stories and help them find their connection to the
Hmm.
past as well.
So when you mentioned that this is St. Louis's only national park, tell us a little bit about the size of the park because I know there's some interesting things about that. But the size of the park, how it's managed, and all the things that goes into making it what it is today.
Sure, it is 91 acres that includes all of the grounds under the arch. It is a designed landscape that is part of a national landmark. And we are a unit of the National Park Service, so that brings with it all of the great opportunities to engage with national parks throughout the country, over
Mhm.
430 of them at this point.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So obviously, the Gateway Arch is a bucket list thing to do in St. Louis. If it was your bucket list and you were off work, what are some of the things that you're checking off at the Gateway Arch? What are some of the things that you're doing? Maybe it's when
Hmm.
people come in town and they come to see you, you're like, oh, we got to go do this. I'm sure you have those.
Right. Actually, during the spring, summer,
Mm.
a little warm in summer, but
Yeah.
fall, walking the grounds. We have over 5 miles of hiking and walking and biking paths, and so it just is a great place to, in an urban environment, to have that
Hmm.
green space.
Yeah.
And from every angle of the park, there's no bad shot to take a picture of the arch either,
That's true.
and the
I've
old
seen them all.
courthouse
Yeah.
as well.
No, that is true. There's so many different angles online of different pictures of the arch. Like it's crazy. Even some from over across the river coming in are
Yes,
some of the
yeah,
most beautiful.
certainly are.
So when people think about, visiting the arch, they know they can go up. The westward expansion. You mentioned the documentary movie. What other events do you guys have coming up? Maybe specifically here, and as we head into the winter, that and holiday things that people can do here.
Sure. Well, we will have extended hours. Of course, we're closed on Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, December 25th, and January 1st.
Hmm.
But over Thanksgiving, from Friday through Friday and Saturday, we'll have extended hours till 8 p.m.
Hmm.
And of course, tram rides will continue until about an hour before closing, which gives people an opportunity to go to the top. Since daylight savings time, we just switched over.
Hmm.
They can get a great view of the city and the east side at nighttime.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the same between Christmas and New Year's Day, be open extended hours until 8 p.m. as well.
Okay. Wow, that's great.
And then we also have ranger-led programs throughout
Hmm.
the days at various times that just allow visitors to make a more personal connection with some of those exhibits
Hmm.
and the stories that they can engage with.
Yeah, and then I see that you guys also have your 1773 12th afternoon ball.
Yes,
Um,
12 days after Christmas,
yeah.
typically a ball was held, kind of a French colonial tradition.
Mm.
And so we'll have costumed rangers doing living history programs, a
Mhm.
ball, and then the festivities that go with that. We usually have a local historical culinary expert,
Mhm.
Suzanne Corbett,
Yeah.
comes and shares information with us and gets the visitors engaged in that as well.
No, and then last but not least, one of your National Park Service fee-free days, which is super exciting. Can you tell us about that? I mean, those usually are announced towards the end of December and early January. So.
Yes, the last one for this year will be November 11th,
Mhm.
Veterans Day,
Mhm.
and that visitors can come at any time to explore the museum and the grounds, and it is entirely free. If they take the tram ride to the top or watch the documentary movie, there is a $3 fee attached to their ticket price.
Mhm.
So that fee is waived on these fee-free days. And uh, we're waiting for the announcement for next year, but uh, typical holidays, Martin Luther King Jr. Day,
Mhm.
Juneteenth, are some of those days for next year.
That's incredible. Yeah, those are always good to get people out there. Like you said, there is a lot you can do for free, but being able to experience some of those things is amazing. It's amazing that we have that here in St. Louis that we can go and do. So, what other info do people need to know? Obviously, like ticketing, parking information. Special. Anything special that people should know as they're visiting the Arch.
Sure. The best place to go for ticketing information is gatewayarch.com. That'll get people online to find out all of the different packages that are available for
Hmm.
participating in the events and make those reservations ahead of time, especially during the holidays.
Hmm.
We do tend to sell out tram tickets
Hmm.
early and often. So, want to make sure that they do that in advance to make sure they get those tickets at the time they need.
Yeah.
That also allows them to make a parking reservation at Stadium East Garage. We have arrangement through our partners to have a reduced parking rate for that, and that
Yeah.
can be done in advance as well.
That's great. There's so many things going on. I feel like you guys have had such an incredible year. There's been so many visitors. I mean, what has the energy been like down there? I mean, you're down there every day, so you see it.
Yes, just got the numbers through the end of October, and visitors coming through our checkpoint. There is a security checkpoint
Hmm.
that visitors have to come through in the building, so they should be prepared for the 10 minutes
Yeah.
that usually takes, depending on how busy we are. Um, but that checkpoint just registered just over 1 million
Wow.
people for the year so far.
That's
And
incredible.
then people on the grounds, that pretty much doubles our number. So over
Hmm.
2 million people visiting so far this year.
Yeah, it's so special, especially with, tourism in St. Louis and how we can promote our city, and what better way to promote it than this huge monument. It's the largest man-made monument that we can promote and really everybody can be proud of. when they talk about it. So Pam, I really appreciate your time and really, highlighting what you do. If you could leave people, I know we kind of talked about the arch itself, but talk about some of the stuff that you do at work just so that we can leave it, because you have this cool badge on, you got this cool outfit on. I mean, it looks like I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing something really cool.
Well, my title is Program Manager for Museum Services and Interpretation, and I work with a great team
Yeah.
that is all front visitor services operations from greeting people at the information desk at the beginning to doing tours, programs, having a ranger at the top to answer questions when visitors are up there, the museum, the film, and then just education, I should mention as well. We have a strong education mission in the Park Service and at the park, and have lots of school groups that visit. Teachers can always make arrangements to do a field trip with their students to participate in one of those mock trials or one of the many other programs we have. And then families can come and do a junior ranger program as well at the museum and earn their junior ranger badge as part of their
I know.
experience.
I need one too. I need a custom one. No, I appreciate your time, Pam, and thank you so much for coming on. And can't wait to continue to make more memories down there at the Gateway Arch Park, so a national park. So super excited, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Today they rep St. Louis, yeah. They rep St. Louis. They rep St. Louis.